Charlie loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children, and he loved me. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well bringing him home. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Kola.
I'm Teresa. In here we explore current event, lifestyle, and trading stories with thoughtful perspective and engaging discussion.
And if you love our content and would love to see more of this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for future updates on our YouTube videos.
After the tragic death of Charlie Kirk, his widow Erika delivered a very emotional speech. While some found it powerful, many critics had a very strong negative reaction.
Yeah, and so before we dive into that, we are going to break the different criticism of her words. But before we get into it, let's watch what she had to say. And then we are going to also see the different reactions of Americans and people globally and how they reacted to her words.
Let's talk about Erika Kirk's speech for a second, because that was not grief, that was a fucking rally. So first of all, she gets up there smiling ear to ear like the Cheshire Cat, talking about how Charlie is in heaven like it's a campaign slogan. First of all, where Charlie is, it's not heaven. It does begin with a H, but it's not heaven. And let's be real, the entire thing was giving off Serena Joy cosplay, the perfect male-centered wife who steps in to carry the torch of her husband's ideology. Except, here's the gag, Charlie himself didn't believe that women were capable of such roles. He built his entire career on telling women to sit down, shut up, and know their place. And now his widow is standing on stage preaching his gospel like a bad sales rep with their eye on the money. This was not just a eulogy like they want us to believe. The podium had Turning Point USA branding slapped onto it and a picture of Charlie facing the cameras like product placement. The cadence, the battle cry, the smooth pivot from fake tears to speechifying. This was not a eulogy, it was brand activation. So let's call it what it is. Erika is not grieving, she's recruiting. She is selling the Charlie Kirk brand harder than he ever could. And if you think this ends at one speech, no, we're about to see seminars, books, tours, probably even a cult. She literally mentioned money non-stop in her speech. This was not mourning, it was marketing, and Erika Kirk is about to turn her husband's death into her own career launch. That's not just bizarre, it's dangerous. Not to mention, she did not mention gun violence once in her speech, despite her husband being killed by a gun.
This lack of color, for me, it's a lack of a human being present, right? It's very much giving uncanny vibes. And right, she's a widow, she lost her husband. This is not me taking down Charlie Kirk or talking about celebrating his death. I'm not celebrating his death. I'm not mourning it either, Pookie. Like, please move on. But the optics of this as a Black woman, it's very much giving the mistress of the house, the master's wife. Like, this makes me unsettled, right? Like, this is giving, what's her name? Something Joy from The Handmaid's Tale. Serena Joy from Handmaid's Tale. It creeps me out. And I think there's a level of cultural difference when we're viewing optics. It's like, because white America has the foothold and their boot on everybody's necks, they have created a realm in which they do things like this. And what it's supposed to signal to all of us is, a very sweet, safe, white, angelic, right? Because, angels, whiteness, like, they're tied together. But to any Black person who's ever watched a scary movie, this looks like the beginning of one. This looks like in the movie when they tried to pan to when everything went to shit. This, right? Like, I'm unnerved. It's giving Stepford wife. It's giving the lack of something. And I don't know, like, I don't want to say like the lack of a soul, the lack of a human. I can't pinpoint it because it's probably different for everybody viewing this and seeing this and watching this. And I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody. Also, I'm not trying to take down this woman. She just lost her husband. Whoop-de-doo. But what I'm saying is that the optics of this scenario, with the Trump in the background and the white hat and the gold, whatever, the symbolism that it's supposed to give to me personally, as a Black woman, it creeps me out. This does not look like a grieving wife. This looks like our new prime minister. Okay, this looks like the queen taking over for the king. You get what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying, like, when it comes to culture, and we're watching like scary movies or horror movies, and people are like, I did not see that coming. I assure you, as a Black woman, I saw it coming. There is something about somebody who tries to portray a level of like, I'm pristine, I'm put together, I'm like, there's something about that person being like that 24/7. I'm talking from a movie aspect or from a TV show that's like, ooh, she's not the killer. Even if she's not the killer, she helped the killer. Something going on with her, right? This is what this gives. By no means do I look at this and go, oh, she's a good woman. I look at this and go, is she a part of B613? Like, I am concerned. I am worried, right? Like, she looks all too happy to be taking over. Again, I am not saying she's happy her husband got shot and was killed and lost the father of her children. That is not what my take is about. So if you're going to enter my comments saying that, leave. My take is that if you've ever watched a show or a scary movie, you know there's a point in the movie where there is a speech given of some kind, and the person is set up like this, and you're like, oh, this is about to either be the murderer or the person who takes over the country. That is what this is giving. Under no circumstances do I go, oh, poor thing. And again, I'm Black. I have my issues with the rhetoric with Charlie Kirk. This is not what this video is about. My point is, optically, I am terrified. I am worried. I'm afraid. I'm uncomfortable. Like, those are all the emotions, not me specifically. I'm just uncomfortable. For me, it's giving Uncanny Valley. It's giving Serena Joy. Like, it's not giving anything besides this cannot be good here, right? And I think, like I said, culturally, maybe white people will see this and go, oh my God, she looks like such a sweet woman. Poor thing. And for me, it goes, I'm taking over his shit. In like a B613 kind of way. And maybe Scandal is on the brain too much and I'm doing too much of a Scandal brain drop here. But tell me what you think of this image. Because she did put out a speech. And like, there's a podium in his office. The entire thing is white. And I'll add this last part because I had a video on this before. There is something very strange about having a house, any portion of your house, completely and utterly devoid of color. And I'm not just talking about the little drops and hints of color. But to go out of your way to have a white or a beige house to be devoid of color gives a level of soullessness I simply cannot describe or articulate appropriately right now. But pontificate on this image here. What vibes are you getting? And again, watch Total Hypocrisy's video because I loved her breakdown and she discusses it in her in the comment section.
All I'm gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did y'all hear Erika Kirk's speech? Charlie Kirk's wife? To me, it didn't sound like a wife grieving, but more sounded like she was delivering a message.
Have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, You have no idea.
She mentioned in her statement, they. Who the hell is they? From all the information that the FBI released, it was only one person. And his family and a family friend turned his ass in for that $100,000 reward. We know what happened. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but this speech sounded like it was directed to his following, his movement.
There was something about Charlie Kirk's wife's speech that I'm not alone in this, that thought, like, there was something creepy about that speech. There was something weird. Okay. Specifically, the line where she says, you know, she's telling her daughter what happened to daddy, and she's like, daddy's on a work trip with Jesus to afford your blueberries. And even in the moment, I was like, to afford your blueberries? That is such a weird thing to say. She could have invoked that same emotion just by saying, daddy's on a work trip with Jesus. That would make you go like, oh, sad. But to afford your blueberries, like, what? So I'm not some sort of like historical genius or something like that. I just was Googling, and I was just like, blueberry symbolism, blueberry far right, blueberry Nazi. And unfortunately, I came up with something so horrible. Hang on. Okay, look at this here for a second, and then I'll kind of explain what's going on. Okay, so basically the story is that this group of photographs showed up at the Holocaust Museum, like, not very long ago, in pretty recent history, and, like, it was this strange assortment of photographs. One of them, like the one I just showed you, that was labeled, "Here There Are Blueberries." And so there was a Pulitzer Prize winning play just here, like, I think in 2024, that was talking about this strange group of photographs that was trying to show Nazi, you know, the Nazis, the SS soldiers, the, like, doctors and stuff that were there at Auschwitz living this very, very normal life, like, almost trying to paint it like, I don't know, the weird juxtaposition of people living a normal life sitting around eating blueberries while there's a concentration camp, like, right across the fence. I know that this is a reach, and like I said, I really hope that I'm wrong, but something about the Serena Joy vibe of her speech, and if they are trying to throw some sort of a dog whistle or some sort of a foreshadowing symbol, something of that there's going to be a group of people that are eating blueberries in a group that aren't. I don't know. I had never heard of this play before, so you would think if somebody was trying to, like, put across a message like that, it would be something more obvious, but I don't know. Tell me what you think, and please don't be afraid to tell me that I'm crazy, because like I said, I want to be wrong.
Critics argue that Erika's speech felt more like a political rally than a moment of mourning. Instead of focusing on grief, she highlighted Charlie's mission and promised to continue his political work. This move, many felt it was inappropriate, and it was so soon after his death.
One of our most controversial lines was directed towards the killer, and this is what she said: "You have no idea what you have unleashed." Supporters saw strength in that statement, but critics described it as vengeful and inflammatory. They said this risks fueling anger than healing. Another major point of criticism was the timing. Many questioned whether Erika should have spoken publicly so soon after the tragedy of Charlie Kirk.
Even so many suggested that maybe she rushed into the spotlight instead of being given time or space to grieve.
So some believe it was less about honoring her husband's memory and more of pushing an agenda.
What do you think? Did Erika's words go too far? Or were they justified? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Special thanks to all the original creators featured in this video.
And credit goes to the respective owners of the clips and content used. This work and perceptives made today's discussion possible. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell below for future updates. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.
Thank you.